Hello, buddy, and welcome to a tropical update here. This is the Atlantic here. You can see Tropical Depression 13L, recently designated Tropical Depression 13L, where my cursor is right there. And just to the right of that, you have a tropical wave coming off of Africa, which also has a chance of formation here within the next 5 days. And we have Invest 97L right there on your screen, on the bottom middle part of your screen, and then on the far left here, you see Hurricane Genevieve heading for the Baja California coastline here with time. Here's a look at Hurricane Genevieve here as it approaches the Baja California coastline. The storm has pretty much been trending more north and east with each passing cone here from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane warnings are in effect for Cabo San Lucas and southern Baja California coastline here from because of Hurricane Genevieve here put up by the National Hurricane Center. So if you're in this area and you know anybody in there, please tell them to stay safe. It's going to be a rough night for them. The storm's forecast to kind of slow down a little bit as it approaches the Baja California coastline and then eventually into tomorrow start to speed up and then race off to the northwest from what the National Hurricane Center is forecasting the storm to be. The latest on Hurricane Genevieve here. You can see this is the key messages here. You can stop the video right now and read that if you want to. But in terms of the forecast track, let's go to the 3-day cone because that's a closer look at what's currently going on. You can see hurricane warnings in effect for southern parts of the Baja California coastline and also tropical storm warnings and a tropical storm watch in effect as well for parts of the Baja California coastline there. And as you can see, there's the latest update Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, as from 9 p.m. Mountain Time, advisory 15. It's currently located at 22.0 degrees north, 110.1 degrees west. Maximum sustaining 1-minute winds are at 85 miles per hour, making this a Category 1 hurricane here compared to how it was earlier. Moving to the north-northwest at 7 miles per hour. And the reason why it's 85 miles per hour compared to a Category 3 status it was earlier this morning is because a hurricane reconnaissance plane found out that the storm was actually a lot weaker than we previously thought it was. So that's the National Hurricane Center inputted the data sent in by the national, not the national, but sent in by the reconnaissance planes that flew into the storm earlier, and they put that into their forecast. So now they have the storm a lot weaker now compared to how it was earlier. So that's why it's a lot weaker there. Now let's go over to Tropical Depression 13L here, currently going on in the Atlantic here, over the open Atlantic. You can see it's been turning here with time, gradually developing over time. It hasn't been a rapid developer just yet here. You can see the center of circulation is a little bit south of where all those cloud tops are firing off. They're just firing off a little bit north of the center, we think. And again, like I said, there's going to be reconnaissance planes. I think I said, if not, there's going to be reconnaissance planes heading into Tropical Depression 13L and an Invest 97L tomorrow, respectively, to investigate both systems to see if they are still if they're developing more, if they're still about the same intensity they are right now. So it'll be interesting to see what data those reconnaissance planes get for both those systems here tomorrow when they fly into the storm. Speaking of 97L, here's a look at 97L currently on infrared here. You can see perhaps it may be trying to form a center circulation here right about where my cursor is, especially later in the frames there, as you can see, as it fires convection supposedly around that area of circulation there. And of course, like I said, tomorrow a reconnaissance plane is going to fly into the storm and see if that is actually the center or not here. No, they'll confirm that for the National Hurricane Center, so it'll be interesting again to see what happens here. But right now, the storm's firing, bubbling up convection around itself here, looking decent. Still looks about the same as it did yesterday, but this time looks like there may be a center of circulation trying to form here. Right about my mouse cursor is where the convection is firing off right there. So there's Genevieve, there's 13L, and then also there's another area of interest here to watch. We'll go ahead and click on here. This is an area of disturbed weather here. Let me go to the 2-day graphical here. Coming off of Africa here, you can see information transferred in the next 48 hours is a low 10%. Information transferred in the next 5 days is a medium 40% chance of formation there, as you can see. And there's a zoom in of the area of interest there. And here's a 5-day outlook of what the National Hurricane Center have as their latest update here. And you can see that wave comes off Africa there, and we'll deal with that a little bit later on with time. It's a little too early to say if it's going to impact any land, but the forecasts right now say it's not going to impact land at this point in time. But of course, that can change, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. So there's Tropical Depression 13, and then Invest 97L has a high 70% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and through the next 5 days has a high 80% chance of formation there. And we also have another area of interest to watch in the Eastern Pacific here that may potentially develop here. As you can see, formation chance through the next 48 hours is near 0%, and formation chance through the next 5 days is a medium 50% chance of formation there. And then here's the models for Invest 97L. You can see for the most part they're kind of shifting to the west of the Gulf of Mexico there. But of course, like I said, and what I want to stress is that the intensity forecasts and landfall forecasts and landfall forecasts are going to be uncertain at this time until the National Hurricane Center can find a really well-defined center of circulation. Then it can input that data into their forecast models and track, and we'll be able to get a more accurate reading on what the storm's going to do. But till that happens, just take these model runs with a grain of salt here, and don't look at one model here. Like see this one that I'm pointing out right here that has a 970 landfall, millibar landfall looks like over extreme eastern Louisiana and Mississippi there. Don't pay attention to what that one model run and say it's gospel, and don't pay attention to the ones on the west here that have the storm bombing out here with time. Like I said, the forecast could shift more to the east, more to the west, more to the south, more to the north, etc. But again, like I said, there are going to be reconnaissance planes into both 97L and 13L, and they'll find out whether or not how well the systems are developed, if any, and they'll get better, more accurate information given and give that information to the National Hurricane Center for their newest forecast cones after they fly back to their base after their reconnaissance mission. But here's ensemble models for 13L. As you can see here, they're in fairly good agreement till about 96 hours out, and after that, it's kind of iffy here. Some models take it into Florida here, and just have it go inland in Florida and zoom on out and hit the Carolinas there. Some of them have it possibly hitting the Florida Keys or extreme southern Miami or southern Florida there, coming off of that and then going over and doing a turn to the northeast, hitting the Panhandle of Florida. Again, I want to stress with this one as well, the forecast is going to be really uncertain with time. The forecast could shift more east, more west, more south, more north. So, of course, just keep an eye on that over time here. And here's the latest cone for Tropical Depression 13L as of Wednesday, August 19th, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time Advisory 1. Currently located at 14.6 degrees north, 47.9 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1-minute winds are at 35 miles per hour. Moving to the west-northwest at 20 miles per hour there, and it's forecast to peak as a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm at this point in time from the National Hurricane Center as it approaches Florida there in the last few forecast points there from the National Hurricane Center. And again, I want to stress to you, the forecast track is still uncertain and it's up in the air. And also the forecast intensity is still up in the air as well. So the National Hurricane Center being on the conservative side and saying this is going to peak as a high-end tropical storm. The storm could very well do that, but the storm could just as well peak as a formidable hurricane, or maybe peak as a tropical depression or weak tropical storm here for all we know. So again, I want to stress to you, the forecast track and then forecast intensities are still up in the air for tropical depression 13L and tropical wave 97L here, Invest 97L I mean. Here's the key messages for tropical depression 13L. This is in Spanish. You could stop the video right now and read that if you want to. And then here's in English here, and you can stop the video right now and read that if you want to get the latest information there as well. And then lastly, here is a model track guidance for 13L, and as you can see again, for the most part, they have it making landfall somewhere on Florida there in about the next 120 hours or so. But like I said, the forecast could shift more north, more south, more east, more west, of course. And as you can see on the top right, do not use this map to make decisions. Seek official information. That's a key message to understand there. And then here's the same thing for Invest 97L. Again, most models seem to be trending more to the west in this most recent run model track guidance. That's with the 0Z run. So I believe that's about it for this little tropical update here. Remember to get official information for these storms, go to the National Weather Service for localized information. So just type up NWS on whatever search browser, search engine you have, and it'll probably be the first result on whatever search browser, search engine you're using. Same goes for the National Hurricane Center. Just type up nhc.noaa.gov or just NHC, and it'll probably be the first result on whatever search browser or search engine you're using. And of course, you're knowing you're on a correct site when you see all this good information given to you right here. And of course, I'll try to link these sites that I use below in the description. So if you want to learn more about what's currently going on, just check the description, and I believe I should have some of the links that I use on there. I like using tropical for satellite imagery wise. I like using Tropical Tidbits, but I'm more so kind of leaning on Cyclonic Wicks by Alex Borham. A great site to use for satellite imagery from GO 16, 17, and also Himawari 8, which unfortunately Livy Cowan does not provide at this time. So I believe that's about it for this tropical update. Hope everybody has a great day or night. You guys are stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.